Hey y'all.
Hey guys.
Hey everybody.
Welcome to another episode of Code Switching Naturally. I am your girl AJ.
I'm Channy.
My name is H to the is O, B to the is A.
Hey.
That's the anthem. Get your damn hands up.
Hey.
I want to ignore you.
H to the is O, B to the is A. I'm sorry. And we have a guest with us today.
A very special guest.
Yeah.
Well, we affectionately know her as Macaca Face. Siri knows her affectionately as Macaca Face,
right.
but we know her affectionately as Macaque Face.
Macaque,
But
right, because Macaca
what you want to go by
just
Sounds like
it's weird.
What name you want the people to know? What you want them to know?
Hello, I am Makayla.
Hey, what's good? Don't be nervous. Just breathe. It's okay.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, so welcome to the show. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for being here.
Having me.
I felt like I had known you my whole life.
Wow.
Since she was boned.
So.
Yeah.
Since she was boned.
Wow. It's a pleasure.
Duh, Channy. Like,
Wow.
you said it's a pleasure to meet me.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah.
Oh, be here. That's a good one too.
Fantastic.
Okay, so we're just gonna hop right in. You know, this is the segment we like to call "Who Gets That L."
Yeah, who's taking the L this week?
And so I feel like we've all decided
It's a
and
unanimous
collectively unanimously. Well, I can't talk. Fuck.
Ooh,
Wow.
baby.
A unanimous decision.
Unanimously decided that the L goes to Kanye.
I've been giving him the L for the past few years.
I mean, he's been giving it to himself.
Correct.
Just taking it. Blah,
Oy.
blah, blah.
Oi.
So, for those who don't know, during his fashion show in Paris, him and one Candace Owens, another of our skin folk that has been nothing but
Not the kinfolk at all.
not the kinfolk, not even a little bit.
Things. Okay.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Indeed.
They both wore White Lives Matter shirts because that makes fucking sense.
Makes a lot of sense, apparently.
I am distraught with every sentence that includes Candace Owens.
And every single time.
Every time.
Because
every time her name is said, I am disappointed.
You know something foolish is about to come after that, and it's never, ever been in good.
I don't know if y'all saw this, but I did.
Mm-hmm.
So, my baby daddy, my love of my life, Yassine Bey, also known as Mos Def, he too had on a White Lives Matter shirt. However, the V was not in fact bolded. It was actually invisible. So it says White Lives Matter.
See now that is good.
Most deaf. Smart man.
I love you, Yassine Bey, because you did that. And at first I was like, if you scrolling too fast, you was like, nah, I know that.
You got it.
You got me.
Now, normally I would have just passed by Kanye being on some dumb shit. But
It's when he doubles down.
Correct.
And that's what he did.
Because there was, I believe her name was Gabriella Johnson.
Another fashion designer.
Right, a fashion like a fashion person spoke out against it because obviously. And then he decided that he was going to attack her on social media.
Well, I understand, fashion, high fashion especially, they're hopefully sending some kind of message. Obviously, the simple message, the bold message, White Lives Matter, coming from two skin folk like us. It's a bit jarring, like you said. But, I think I read in on it just a little bit. And she says something about breaking the box, like you said, breaking the mold. What is she trying to say by that? And
Breaking what mold?
She's not breaking a mold. That's not breaking a mold.
She's being intentionally jarring, and when people try to pass off the idea of, it's again that idea of I'm playing the devil's advocate. It doesn't make sense for you to try to be just intentionally jarring. That is not breaking a mold.
Yeah,
you're not coming up with anything different. You're just doing the opposite of what people around you were doing.
Like creating a majorette team at a PWI, but anyway.
We're still mad about that, and I get it. I understand.
I'm not mad about it, but I just wanted to make it very well known. that when you say you're creating something because you need something to create for yourself, it was already created. But hey, who am I?
The point really is this isn't groundbreaking.
Correct.
And it's not a message that needs to be pointed to, because the whole point of Black Lives Matter was to go, hey, this shit's fucked.
Do something different.
Right. We would like it to be fixed.
Mm-hmm.
Black lives are being put in danger regularly. Like, a lot of times for no reason.
It feels as though what they did with that message was make it bite-sized and easily digestible blackness and just go against the grain. Because you miss the entire point of what Black Lives Matter meant in the first place.
Right.
Well, now it's the narrative that Black Lives Matter was a scam this entire time.
That's what I was.
People like sharing,
tragic, honestly.
But the idea,
Sharon Osbourne asked for her $900,000 back. She had to be specific about how much money it was.
There's corruption everywhere, but
that doesn't escape the message of what we were trying to say.
Right, exactly.
And that right there
so
is
like,
the important thing.
What the fuck was she? What are they trying to say? Like, can you give me? Is there like a link I can go to where you can kind of give me an idea of what you guys are saying? Besides, like you said, just like shock value, because I didn't see it.
And for me, I think it's more so.
There's not a link.
There's not a link. It was
There's
just.
not a link. It's just.
And shout out to Jaden Smith who said I left.
Yeah, no, he was like, "No, I'm out." He's like, "I had to dip."
He's like, I don't give a damn who you are. I'm not standing for that.
I had to go.
I had to go. Bye
Black
bye.
Lives Matter, and I'm like, that's a real one.
I love
That's
that.
real. I was a little mad on his behalf. I was looking at it as I was doing the research for this, just to be sure I'm up on game. They kept saying Will Smith's son, and I'm like.
Even though that's true, he stands in his own merit.
He has his own thing going on.
He's got his own name. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Like,
I feel bad for his kids because they will always be in the shadow of you are Will and Jada Smith's kid.
you know what? In the same thing. Okay, can someone tell me when it became Ray J's sister?
Oh, sure.
Because I have heard that multiple times.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Didn't she say that herself at some point? Or something like no, she didn't call herself that. I think she spoke out against it. It was like, I'm Ray J's sister.
Right. Like, what do you
When Jack Harlow said that, because when Jack Harlow said it, he was like, Ray J's sister?
But
Like,
it had been happening before
But it had happened before that, but it was even more profound when Jack Harlow said it, because he didn't know that they were brother and sister. And somebody in there was trying to explain, like, you didn't know that was Ray J's sister, like, and then he kind of took it in.
I feel like that's a common black fact.
It should be, but he's also not black.
More importantly,
What, Makala?
it is Brandy's brother. Will be,
Period.
has been,
What does
will
Ray J
always
do?
be forever and ever.
First of all, don't do Ray J. Don't do Ray J. Don't give him too much now, because he did have us singing in the rain with One Wish. Okay.
Yeah, One Wish, and it was only one song.
No, he had a couple. He had a couple bangers.
He-
Right, the shit?
Sexy can I just know my man, girl, how you shaking, kind of.
I completely forgot about that
Two
song.
songs.
It was another one, but that was the main one I
Two
can
songs.
remember.
Two songs. And then he was on.
One of them was with Whitney.
I will say he is a legend in the reality TV game.
There you go.
He is definitely a legend. And he's really big in the tech world right now. So
Well, he's got Raycons.
he got Raycon.
Good for him.
All of that stuff.
Businessman.
He's
We love that
invested
for
in
you.
like other tech stuff.
Bet.
I have seen that, but like, and he's also a producer on Zeus. So
He will still be Brandy's brother.
for the rest of his life,
That's so sad.
and he
That's
stands
just-
in that happily.
And that's just what it is. And this is not even for him. This is for the rest of y'all who are saying,
The
Ray
vocal
J's
Bible.
sister, are you fucking kidding me? Get the fuck out of here.
The vocal
Anyway,
Bible, like what the fuck?
So, hey.
Uh-huh.
Have we sufficiently given Kanye?
Oh well, we sufficiently gave it to him when we said he was a jackass.
Which is correct and true, and I stand 10 toes in that.
I just want the blogs to stop posting him. I just want.
They're not going to.
They're not going to.
They're not going to.
Because he is in a full episode, and everybody is just like, oh, and finally people's like, how many passes are we gonna give him to just be like, oh no, Kanye just being no, this is detrimental.
Yeah, no,
this is not good.
Yeah, I've been on that. No, thank you. Kanye shit and have remained.
They are not going to ever stop showing Kanye as
Especially
long as
Fox
Kanye
News.
nights still exist.
Because people still trying to make excuses for it, and
People
that's the part
call
for me
him
that
a
bothers
genius.
me.
People wholeheartedly believe in what he says. Like
I don't get that.
100%.
Musically, sure. Even his music has been very manic lately.
Honestly, after like graduation, high school dropout, all that.
I mean, there was like one or two from My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. One or two.
I wasn't really feeling them after a while.
Not really. No, not at all.
I just get irritated with the fact that he keep trying to pull God into this. God ain't got nothing to do with this, sir. This ain't God.
Yeah.
That'd be my issue. I'd be like, don't bring Jesus into your craziness.
That's a very difficult conversation to have with someone who wholeheartedly believes that he
and
is
I was like,
God's chosen.
I don't know. I can't
like
tell
he
the man
called
nothing.
himself
I can't tell
Jesus.
him anything.
Like the delusion is up there.
Oh yeah, it's been up there for a while.
Yeah.
Somebody nothing.
It's who's gonna check me, boo? That's his.
Cause he's talking about he been getting bullied by black Hollywood, and so he been talking about y'all not gonna get me. Da, 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 da. Shut up.
Houseway. Sorry. So.
Houseway, what I do?
I was just quoting him. I'm sorry.
And then he had to go back and admit Sway did have the answers.
Yeah.
I will say, Sway had the answer.
He did say that. Okay, y'all. Y'all ready?
Ready.
Okay. So my question of the day is 3 out of the 4 of us grew up together. So this is gonna be an interesting take on the same thing. However, how did you learn or explore ways to create your boundaries, and how were they honored or not honored as like kids versus an adult now?
Yeah, we're talking about boundaries today, y'all.
Does my question make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will attempt to regurgitate it to you.
Okay.
In the way that I took it.
Okay.
We are discussing, I guess, how and when we learned boundaries. And whether or not they were honored in childhood and or adulthood.
Well, not how and when, but like, okay, but the how, yes.
How?
But more so of how you created those boundaries, as well as like, okay, yes, how and when. Let's just make it easy.
That's what it sounded like.
Yeah, because my brain has been terrible all week, so I can't even tell you. I just can't. So yes,
that's fair.
How we're gonna simplify it, how and when.
No.
Cool.
If
Perfect.
it comes back and I'm able to complete the sentence, I'll say it again.
Okay. Fantastic. I'll go first.
Okay.
I don't think boundaries were set until well into adulthood for me. Like, well, some in high school.
Because there's different boundaries, obviously.
Sure. But our family wasn't really boundary centric as far as children go.
Correct.
That's
Very
just
correct.
Like, we couldn't have closed doors until we moved down here.
Correct.
Word?
Yeah.
Oh, child, yeah. And my daddy couldn't stand it.
Yeah, no. Yeah, no, Baldness had a conniption when he came down here and our doors were closed. He was upset. Yeah,
he was upset. He was like, "Why are these doors closed?" Because we kind of fell into like a routine because it was just me, Quentin, and mommy.
What y'all doing?
We fell into a routine where it was kind of like the door kind of gave you what to do. It wasn't like we sat down and was like, okay, so listen, when my door's closed, you may not enter, knock on my shit, or don't come in, because I will kick you out if you come into my room.
Right. We just used the base function of a door.
Right.
So it was just kind of like, if we felt like being bothered, we would, convene in the living room or the kitchen, or we would leave our doors open to our rooms. And this was everybody, so mommy included. If she felt like being bothered, she'd leave the door open. If she didn't, she'd close the door, watch her TV, do what she do. First of all, we're old enough to fend for ourselves,
right?
So it wasn't like she needed to be like Hawkeye, like she didn't need to be like up on top of us. But when Daddy came back, and that was just how things were, it was a couple days, like 2-3 days, none of us was really speaking to each other. It wasn't that we had issues with each other. We was just like, hey, yo, I'm be in my room. I'm be in my room.
We were just doing our own thing.
And the doors was closed.
And this was down here?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
We were on
tilted.
The house on Delano.
Oh, I love
He
Delano.
Was
Isn't it Delano?
Hilarious.
No, Delano or Delano.
Delano,
It was
like the
president.
Like the president?
Okay, listen.
Right.
The way Americans say words.
Right.
It's not
Delano.
correct.
Delano.
So yeah, he was not having it. But when we finally like explained to him, like, Daddy, we just be chilling, bro. Like, we just want to be in our rooms and mind our business.
We have a system. This is what the system is now.
Just,
This is what it is now.
It's just so simple to just not.
Because he would get mad because we would look at him like he was crazy. Like, why is you just opening my door? Like, close my door. Because he would come and open the doors, and then even my mom, like, we would all close it back. Like, bro,
deeper than that.
Leave the door.
Yeah, no,
alone.
like that. The way his family was set up, everything was just very open.
Yeah,
and like, no,
open, loud.
Like, yeah, open,
aggressive.
So it was,
but I love them so much though. It's
I love my family.
I love it so much.
Absolutely, it's a mess, but you love them.
We all a mess,
Absolutely.
and so that's why it makes it so great.
I got my own dysfunction, but I don't think real and true boundaries were set until I was well into adulthood, like. The infamous daddy call out.
What?
So there was a night where dad called a family meeting.
Oh,
my first night moving back here in 2014.
Called a family meeting, and he just went down the line and was like, "Fuck's wrong with you? Fuck's wrong with you? Fuck's wrong with you?"
And we all looked at him
we all looked at him crazy. Just slow blinked, and that was the time, like, because I had my own car at the time, I had my own place, I had come to talk, like we'd come to the house, which meant when I was done,
I was leaving anyway.
Right, I was gonna leave afterwards, so the leaving just sort of happened earlier than expected, because I was no longer going to stand for it.
Because when he said "fuck around with you," he was like, "We gonna start with you, fuck around with you." And Chris was like, "Well, I just want to do that because it's my thing and I want to do it." And he was like, "So you want to do the thing?" And Chris was like, "Yeah, I want to do the thing." So then he's like, "So what about you?" I was like, "Well, ain't nothing left for me here, so I'm out. I want to go do the thing." He looks at mommy, was like,
and what about?
"So what you think about this?" She was like, "They're grown. They can do what they want." He was like, "I don't like that you said it." She was like, "I don't really give a shit."
Yeah. Yeah.
Verbatim.
Yeah.
Those were her words.
That is what she said.
She was like, "I really don't give a shit."
Yeah, and then he came sideways at her, which was when I was done.
And Quincy came in and was like, "Hey, yo, that ain't. You started that though,
right?
So.
You started it, so don't talk to my mother like that,
girl."
Yeah. So he was like, You don't like the way I talk.
He even pulled up my brother. If you don't like the way I talk to my wife, there's the door. Quentin was like, bet.
And I laughed.
Now, what Quentin doesn't, he probably does know now, but what Quentin doesn't realize is as his foot hadn't even made it all the way out the door, and my dad was like, man, fuck him, and da-da-da-da, and if that's how he gonna act, and then fuck him, and if y'all agree with him, fuck you too. I said, oh, really?
Damn, child. Damn.
Baby, I had my best friend on the phone so quick. I said, hey, bro, I'm coming back tonight. My shit's still in the car. I'm out. I'm out.
Drove the family.
They was like, him and the Walkers had to talk me down because they was like, baby, it's 11 o'clock at night.
So
I said, I don't care. I'm coming. Like, I'm out.
So intense.
The night is still young.
It's still young. I can be there in 40 minutes. What you mean? Like, I'm out.
But yeah, no, so that was the start of me going, this is where my line is.
Good for you.
There's sand line.
Good for you.
Yeah, so, we are now at a big age.
Very big age.
And, like, the line has gotten closer to me.
So what about you, Kenny? I see you shaking your head. What about you?
Are you still working on it?
So, for me, I'm not really the person that, like, had boundaries, like, a lot of boundaries growing up. Like, I was kind of, I'll be honest, I was like a pushover, like, as a kid. And I didn't.
As a kid?
Wow. That was rude party of you. Rude party of you. I know.
Continue.
I'm sorry.
So,
the level of disrespect.
I'm gonna get to my point, but go ahead. I'm gonna let you finish.
So
I'm sorry.
I did not have like necessarily like the best experience with like setting boundaries or anything. My first experience with like trying to figure out what my own personal boundaries was with my mother. Controversial, even though my mother has like passed and everything, I will admit that our relationship was not that fantastic.
Okay.
So, and it had a lot to do with like me trying to figure out my boundaries with someone that raised me, so someone who was really close to me and someone that I felt a lot of love for, but I had to still love you from a certain level of distance. And my experience with that was really tumultuous because at that time, I still didn't really know what it meant to set boundaries, especially with my own mother, like my provider, someone who cared for me. So it was kind of difficult to figure out and verbalize when I don't know how to explain to you that something you're doing is making me uncomfortable, but I am uncomfortable. And that's the conversation I would have with my mother. Like, this thing that you did, so you did this and I became uncomfortable and it was uncomfortable because of this. My mother, though, because I did not grow up setting boundaries,
she was like, wait, well, what are you saying?
Exactly.
Like,
it was.
Why would you say that?
Exactly. It was like, I don't understand why you're acting like this.
Right.
And then I really learned how to set my boundaries with my sister because my sister had to have set those same boundaries with her mother. And I had to have these conversations with her because it's like, I don't understand why the things that our mother does upsets me. And she had to like sit me down and like, you're having the same kind of experiences. You have to set those boundaries with our mom because she has to understand that, you are an adult now. And that was a ride. It was probably a 6-year ride of trying to figure out how to do that.
When did that start?
That question too, but I, based on my statement when you said as a kid, because when I first met you, you were still in that space. So
it started then. That's
when it started. Okay,
yeah,
so
it started
that makes sense then.
When I went to college, and I remember like having this conversation with my mom over the phone. She wanted me to call her every single day.
Oh no, we don't have time for that.
She wanted me to call her every day.
So it's pretty much the first time that you had some like real separation.
Exactly. When I really became on my own and I figured out who I was outside of Trina's daughter.
Yeah, for sure.
And I had to figure out like the things that I was doing with my mom, I'm not comfortable with. The things that I like. My mom had a habit of making me the mediator child. And like, so whenever she had an issue with another child, I was the one that she came to. I was the best friend kid.
Because she was in the middle.
I was the middle child. So I was the best friend child. My
so it was very inappropriate,
right? And I did not like doing that. I don't like to be the person you store all your aggression in. So,
do you feel like you still carry that now, or do you feel like you've done a pretty good job of like getting rid of it?
Right, I had to tell Corey on that.
No,
because that's a lot to take in. So okay,
it is a thing that I am still teaching myself that I do. It grew into having a savior's complex, and I still maintain that to this day.
Yeah,
if
you
there
have
is strife between friends, I feel like I have to go fix it.
I'm glad you haven't done that with some of our situations. I love you for it. So, Cake Face.
Interesting.
What about you?
Hearing you guys, I feel like I actually, kind of like Shani said, I didn't really have boundaries growing up. My father wasn't really around, if you could say. He was in prison for like the first half, probably like good 4 years growing up. So my mom kind of had to take over and kind of do everything. So I felt like I wasn't, no one ever really told me I couldn't or could do anything. So I feel like, my mind is my boundary, my home. Whatever I tell myself is my limits at that point.
Legit.
That's fair. That's fair.
As soon as you find out that's a boundary, that's a boundary.
Yeah, don't do that. And he was like, don't do that,
Don't
okay?
like that.
I don't like that. I'm going to come back.
So.
Okay.
So. I was talking about boxes with my partner the other day, and like how, there's gender roles in boxes and things like that. And I remember, I kind of relate because my mom used to call me mini-me. And she used to be like, this is my mini-me, this is my mini-me.
Yeah, my mom still says that.
What about you?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
what?
In certain lights.
Very much so.
Very much so. So it's, I don't know. Being an adult now, I'm just still learning to create boundaries. What are boundaries? Like, I guess that kind of makes me a little bit dangerous, if you will, because I'm in like my first relationship, my first committed relationship, and like took it to the max. And now I'm like, oh, let's create some boundaries now. I don't have any boundaries. I'm just like, let's go. So,
let's do this.
Then I'm like, oh, what? We gotta do this other stuff too. Right. So
I also noticed that sometimes when you like get to a point, you automatically throw up the boundary, and then it's just like, whoa, okay. Yeah. So she doesn't want to do that.
That can be traumatic.
Yeah. Listen, sometimes you just got to put up the no wall.
Just the no wall.
No.
Oh yeah.
What about boundaries with like family and how you interact with said family?
Because
see, that's the thing. My mind is my safe place, even, because that's my boundary there. You can't get into my mind. If I had a lot of so intense, like, and then like you said, not saying I was like a vessel for anyone's anger, my mom's anger by any means, but understanding, there was anger, there was solitude, there was, I don't know, broken commitments that she had to deal with, and it just bounces and it reflects into your children. And I tried my best. I blanked out. I have a thing. I don't know what's it called when you
commercial breaks is what we call it.
Yeah, disassociating. We call it going on commercial break.
We call it commercial break.
Gone the whole time, wasn't it?
I used to do the same thing with my mom. After a while of listening to my mom, I would just be like, you know what? I'm just 1,000-mile stare. Because you have repeated yourself enough.
Yeah,
surprisingly, I think these two can vouch for it. I was the total opposite. Like, I was vocal about all this shit. And I don't think Makayla got it as much because the youngest, our youngest auntie, she moved across the country by the time Makayla got of like age. So my boundaries were difficult because my mom would say something to me and we'd come to an understanding that Ariel's not going to do that.
Yeah.
But if her sisters are in the room, they all come at me at the same time.
Yeah.
And so it would become Hardy women versus Steven's woman. Well, Steven's girl. And so at this point, they jump in, and then my mom is just like, oh yeah, no, you need to do that. And I'm like, no, you said no. So I'm not here for it. But then as a kid, you don't get to do that after the 1 becomes the 3. So it was very intense. And then as I got older, my mom pulled back, but her mom did not.
My mom stayed live.
She just was like, no, you're still 12. Do as I say.
Yeah, my mom.
Yeah.
Do as I say, like right now. And I'm like, nah. And then you're not gonna talk to me like that either, because who are you?
Mama Leo.
I'm grown at this point.
Yeah. I think that's another part of it, like getting them to see that we are in fact fully grown
Our own entity.
and can make whole ass decisions for ourselves. Is that part?
Exactly.
Because I was like, for you, like how, because knowing that Uncle wasn't really around a lot, how have you guys been able to navigate that? And did you have to set a boundary with Unc? Or was that kind of like something you guys always intentionally, when you do talk or when you do have contact with Uncle, like do you guys kind of do you have to instill a boundary, or is that something that was easier to cultivate?
And by boundary, that boundary was like just letting him in, talking to him, opening up. Because I was like, for a long time, I was just like, okay, and it's this nigga far away. So it's like, what kind of boundary can you break? Oh, you didn't buy me this iPhone or some bullshit like that. It was truly just, letting him in and just kind of
Allowing it to,
forgiving and and just realizing that, damn, I mean, some of us tried. I don't know. I'm not going to say whether we tried or not, but he's here.
Right.
And that's cool.
He's here.
I think for me, like I said, because I was so vocal, I always had some sort of boundary in place as a kid.
Yeah,
like,
you were very much so like, this is this is this.
I'm not doing that.
Here, mine came a lot later, because it always goes back to I was trying to be the best, first child blues, always trying to be the best child. And then there was that, whole like, hey, and trying desperately. What? I mean, listen. When did I first realize? Yeah. I started in middle school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, well, technically, it was the transition from elementary to middle. So but 6th grade.
That's about right.
In Ohio, at least in some of the places, the elementary goes a bit later.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
To 6th grade. So I didn't really start until the summer, because I was going to the the private school summer camps.
Because he used to do those science thingies.
The science thingies, and then every summer, there was just
the summer camps, and stuff.
Outreach for Black kids. So we would go to the private schools, and that's how I got into hockey.
Yeah, I was at the Salvation Army.
I was too.
Yeah, we all were.
Yeah, we all were.
We all were. We did.
It's when you
I got in trouble.
It's because you went sock and boppers.
Huh?
Because you went sock and boppers.
Well, she shouldn't have started it.
And that is a boundary.
And no, for sure. Yeah, no, she sat the fuck around and found out.
You have to defend your boundaries as if somebody had the audacity to hurt you.
The audacity took 4 people to get me off her ass. Tell you that.
Now, to be fair, Arrow had some anger, but she was also not incorrect. Is
God
the
bless
thing?
The Salvation Army.
I promise you, there's not a place. There's not a children's place in Ohio that if the people were still there when we were kids, they wouldn't understand who we were. We left reputation.
Yeah, I had
especially all when I tell you all 4 of us left an impression on Helping Hands Daycare.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, listen. All right. To be fair,
Quentin started it.
I did started, but listen, I was on drugs at the time.
What?
I had to
I
had to take asthma.
Yeah, he had steroid
medicine,
stuff.
which is just steroids. So they gave steroids to a child.
Sounds about right.
And so the mild mannered child turned into the Incredible Hulk.
He turned into Tasmanian. Sure did.
Yeah, no, there was one time. It was one of the two. I think it was Daddy. Daddy had to come in. They called him in to come and get me because
he was cutting up,
throwing a fit. I was cutting up. Like one of the caretakers, like
they had to hold him. Like,
she had me like big woman.
Well.
She was big. She was big. She was.
It wasn't Miss Laura. It wasn't Miss Laura.
No, Miss Laura was like, no. She
said, oh no.
Go pass that on over. Yeah, no. Had me just in a lock. But like she was not doing great. She was struggling.
Wow.
Yeah.
God bless.
I think, but I do think the one struggle I did have was because of how intense they were. Because now, as an adult, it makes me question or it makes me feel guilty about my boundaries, and because I realize that I have been. This is who the fuck I am. This is what the fuck I am going to do and what I'm not going to do.
Right.
I've always been that way. However, I've always been made to feel like I was wrong for feeling that way. On my dad's side, he'll be like, well, that's your family. You're supposed to look out for family. You're supposed to do X, Y, and Z for family. Yeah, but if my family is giving me their ass to kiss, there's only so many times I'm going to fuck with you.
Yeah, let's go pull over. So, in general, family, great. Love, important. I will not do for them to the detriment of myself.
Correct.
Right.
I'm just not doing it.
Not at all.
Not anymore.
I can't very well do it. And I think where we've always had the differences of opinions on that, especially talking to our dad, my mom, she understands it. She gets it. I think because now that she's done a lot of legwork on like what her boundaries are and understanding of like how that is and how she shows up, I think our biggest battle with our dad was just like, your behavior is not your personality.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Who you are is not what you do. And to him, all of that encompasses who you are. So you should just accept the behaviors, no matter how they affect you. And I'm never a hill I'm willing to die on. I'm never doing that shit.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Like I'm not going to continuously put myself in a situation with somebody where you're continuously giving me your ass to kiss, or you're continuously disrespecting me, or not willing to accept the fact that this is the boundary that I have for myself.
Right.
And if you don't want to deal with that, then we don't need to have a conversation.
And it's not like you're asking them like jump off a bridge. By
Hell
any
no.
means.
Right. But like,
I'm gonna love you like you're saying. Like I would love you from a distance. Like when I see you, hey baby, good to see you. Mwah, mwah.
And I think people too often use the excuse of love to be the reason why you should just put up with certain things.
Correct.
And the thing is that love is not enough for any relationship whatsoever.
Ever.
It is not enough to excuse behavior.
Sounds like they just don't want to change.
yes.
Absolutely not.
Correct.
They don't.
That's cold.
The amount of times I've heard just, well, that's family. That's how we do.
You got to change.
No.
You got to break that
And again,
cycle.
it goes back to love is not, I cannot love you into my, like changing my hurt.
Yeah.
I can't love you
isn't
enough that I ignore what hurt me.
Totally. Yes, totally. That was
So,
definitely not enough.
and I guess I've never really asked you this, Makayla, but because I know you've experienced the trio at one point as well, especially because Makayla does not talk around them. Like,
Right,
they will
with you.
correct.
What I'm gonna say. What I'm gonna do.
So Makayla was one of those ones where she would like, because she was 4 years, she was the youngest for the longest time. Now she is not, but for the longest time growing up, Makayla was the youngest. She's 4 years behind me. So anytime something happened, and me and her brother were like freaking frack, pinky in the. Hey, I wouldn't go that far. I wasn't a crackhead, but pinky in the brain, like and Eddie, like I can go. The list goes on. You know, he would suggest we do something stupid. I'd be like, yeah, Nick, let's go. Like we out.
It was not a good idea.
It was not. It was never a good planned out idea ever. And then I would do it, and then he'd back out.
Mm-hmm. Damn.
And then when it come down to it, they'd be like, "Hey, who did this? Ariel? You bitch ass nigga, shut up."
Why his ass? Yep. I ain't gonna say it.
Pimping hoes and selling drugs.
So I think, Makala, my question, and we're gonna wrap this up soon, but I think my question for you is, how would you describe how we grew up? Because for the most part, we all grew up together. So how was it for you growing up around the dynamics that we had?
For me, I felt like I said, I disassociated a lot. So I am kind of sad that I wasn't there to actually capture any true moments. Like I wish I could have. Maybe I'm like longing for better family moments. Maybe that's what I don't know. Maybe that's what the true lack was, but I just don't. It was so like, that.
I just got real sad.
Yeah.
I did.
You remember when Mommy asked us?
Okay, so Makala, I just want you. I hate that we're doing this on here, but like, so that Mother's Day when we was all at the house during the pandemic, and my mom asked, she was like, "Oh, what's your favorite, like, you know, moments with your mom and whatever." And it was like, and I do have to clarify, Makala's mom is the oldest of the three. So she was alone with her mom and dad for 2 years before my mom showed up. And then it was just my mom and her mom for 10 years before our aunt showed up.
Right, before the third.
They were trying for a son. Oh. Yeah, they were trying for that boy. God, and got 3 girls.
That would have been...
It would have been weird to have
messed up the whole.
That would have been weird. It might have evened it out though.
No.
Not with your mom. No.
Yeah, we got the whole.
Because listen, the third child being a son.
No.
I'm gonna be real with you. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Nah.
From my own personal family dynamic, the third baby being the son is demonic. How dare my mother have done that to us?
And it's crazy because they're 7 years apart.
All of my siblings, all of them, 7 years apart. A full generation.
Dang, dude.
Her and her sister are 7 years apart.
Do not.
Okay,
if
never
you
mind.
Have a third son and like just a third child, and it is a son. Have another immediately.
Right.
Balance it out.
That's crazy. So, but yeah. So I guess because I don't know. So what was the dynamic like? Because you know, me and Quinton are really close. But I mean, also,
You're close.
Yeah, no, we are. We were so like distant, even though we were like in the same city a lot, and I do feel bad about that.
Who? Me, you, and her?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, because I was coming to get my baby. I don't care. That was
for sure.
Yeah. Who? So, and it's funny because even now, they all call me about you. Even when you was in high school and you and your mama was butting heads, she would call me, you need to get your cousin because you need to talk to her because I don't understand. And I was like, what you do?
Also, okay, let's. I'm sorry, we're gonna pull over one more time. I know we need to close it out very soon. I'm sorry. Listen. Stop calling other people for other people. Fucking stop it, like
Because she would call me and I'd be like, Makala. She'd be like, yeah, girl. I'd be like, what happened? Now she was like, because she asked me to do this, and I was like, I don't want to do that, and she always be talking to me crazy. So why would I do that? And I was like,
I mean, when you talk to me nice,
or don't talk to me at all.
Period.
Right?
Because I've actually had to cut off conversations because I said, Quinton, shut up. It's dead. We're not doing that. We're done. Cause I don't fuck with it. I don't care that you are my aunt, my uncle, my mama, my dad. I don't care. What did you? My mama's birthday.
That's what I'm saying.
Just last week. She was like, "Well, Quincy, you." I said, "Quincy, you what? What you was about to say?"
Oh Lord.
She was like, "I was about to say, dang, he my child. I don't care." Yeah. What you said?
Showing out on the birthday.
She show out wherever.
Show out.
And we've equally that's why I said I think it's weird for me now because I'm starting to understand that even though I had boundaries, they were still very rooted in fear of them not being respected because of the family we come from.
That causes a person to be overly defensive when it comes to expressing their boundaries. Damn. It becomes an issue where whenever you have to press a boundary, now you have to impress upon it more because you feel like you're going to get attacked for it.
Damn. And I have been attacked for my boundaries. I've definitely been attacked for them. I still do. I still get attacked for it.
And that's not fair. It's not fair because you don't need to be defensive about your boundaries. You should not be.
Yeah,
Quincy will not let this go. So
because oh God, that was so infuriating.
Okay, so this is the last one, and we're gonna wrap it. We're gonna head out. But I don't like clubs. We all know this. Don't ask me to go to no club because I'm not going.
Right.
I've tried them.
It's a sit down. You're in the VIP.
No.
It's too loud. There's too many people. People are gross.
It's dangerous.
The drinks are too expensive.
I've been to Bourbon.
You ain't paying for no
twice.
I wouldn't.
I've been to Beecham's in Orlando.
But have you been to the Real Ting in Jacksonville?
I have. I didn't like it.
I would not take someone who is overly I won't say sensitive because you're not sensitive. It's just there's a lot of stimulation. I
can't do
stimulated.
it.
I would not take you to a club.
The 2 times I went to Bourbon, I was groped. I was accosted by a drunk man who smelled like metal and black and milds. I saw a really bad fight where somebody was knocked out. Too much for me. I left right before somebody got shot.
Anybody's perception.
And then Beecham's, I got thrusted into a column because niggas in dark liquor, and then you play the hood music and niggas get to fighting. So they was fighting in front of the stage, and we were by the bar trying to get our last drink because we was had the nigga senses was hey,
they were tingling.
It's time to.
I really would have just left that drink. I left that drink behind the bar.
We should have. And now that I'm thinking about it, what the fuck were we thinking?
What have
girl, get one more. Because we were in the middle of getting one more, and then the fight broke out. So we was like, fuck that. We're gonna go now.
Yeah.
Because even though you pat niggas down before you go in there, you never know who holding somewhere else.
Right.
Yeah.
So I was like, nah, I'm out. I'm out. But Jamaica, my mom was like, oh, y'all need to go to the club. It was a good time. Da 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 da. Everybody was like, yeah. I was like, nah.
No foreign club.
Nah, I don't want to do that. Especially not in a resort. Nah, I don't want to do that.
Resort club.
Resort clubs are probably
wasn't
not
even
that
good.
great.
And so the long story short,
we was playing.
This particular night,
local artists. Come on.
It was a lot of electro.
Yeah, it was very
club.
techno.
Yeah, techno.
Don't do it.
Very much.
Local bars.
And then it was a whole bunch of white people with no shoes on, and they were.
Yeah.
It was almost like they were on shrooms or something. Now apparently we missed the other nights where they were playing our music,
Oh.
But this particular night they went techno for whatever reason. But long story short, we were sitting by the bar where I would have happily stayed and got shit faced. Because one, my room is not far behind. I can go to my room after midnight. Fuck yeah, let's do this. But no, everybody was just like, no, you need to do this, you need to do that.
You need to turn up.
And I was like...
So, she had already been drinking that day.
I had also smoked quite a bit that day.
Smoked that day. And then we just finished eating food. She wasn't feeling particularly well.
Baby.
But...
Yeah, I wasn't feeling it.
But our mother was still like...
And I had already
turn up. You need to turn up.
And the part for me that was irritating, which is why I stopped arguing, was because I had already told them earlier before we got drunk that I would go for 10 minutes.
Like she would go until she was leaving at 12:07.
No, I said 12:01.
12:01.
I said 12:01. I'm leaving.
She's like, we're going, and then after 12, I'm leaving.
Okay.
Now, I took offense that even though
it was already discussed.
It was already discussed.
And already decided.
Right. She said she would go. People weren't leaving her alone because she wasn't turning up the way that they saw fit.
That's how it always goes.
And I was like, so listen.
Who is this for?
We could right, for one. Two, she already doesn't want to go.
And he was just like, y'all, he was like, what y'all seem to not understand is y'all can do all this talking that you want to, but at any point in time, she will get the fuck up and leave y'all.
She will just
and I
go.
said, you got it.
Right. And
I didn't say nothing. I just pointed at him. I said,
and like mom kept going like, she's compromising. This isn't a compromise. She's doing what you're right, because the compromise would have been us turning up
right
in the
where
hotel
we were.
bar.
Right, we were literally.
It wasn't
Lord,
the bar was right there.
It
was right there.
Yeah,
and you were down with like chilling still.
We were right here.
This is the couch.
This is the couch.
There's
the bar.
Right there.
It's literally right there. You could right there.
Right. We could have and then we could have gone outside, enjoy a nice breeze. There was a patio.
Because there was a patio right there. It was cool.
But no, we had to go to the club.
I think somebody even had a speaker. They had a speaker in their room. We could have got the speaker. We could have been dancing, having a good old time, having the time of my life.
No
but no. We went to the Right.
That's okay. So set your boundaries. Be like, bitch, this is my party. We sitting right here.
That's why at my party I had a ball.
You did.
I did. I had a great time.
Yeah. So there was
boundaries.
Yeah. No, the boundary was you better fucking
compromising.
Leave me alone.
Leave her alone about this.
Quincy
like she's
going.
To the grass. Yeah. Like I definitely we almost fought.
Quincy had to look at me to get the okay, and I was like, Quentin, it ain't worth it, bro. Relax.
Listen, like she knows that we cape for each other.
Everyone knows this, yes.
Thank you.
You would think so.
But people seem surprised, and I still don't get it.
And I just really want the record to show that you were like a part of that circle of people that I will promise you I am. Y'all gonna have to see me.
Yeah, anything goes down, all you have to do is call, and it's like we rolling up where we at.
I don't know if you remember your freshman year of high school when that whole debacle happened. With you and Michael. That whole debacle happened. You was like, yeah, and you was by yourself.
Yeah.
Michael had to do. People had to talk me off of coming home and digging in that ass because I was coming.
No, he was going to chew her fade for sure.
I said, hello. I came running in, went upstairs. I was like, he said, don't answer the door. I said, okay, bet. There's somebody knocking on the door. I answered. I'm like, what is going on?
She said, okay, bet. Hi.
Immediately open
Hello. Because there's blue lights. There's 6 cop cars out front.
Oh, no, you can't ignore that.
Her mama be like, oh, no, I'm playing the Sims. Sorry, I can't answer the door. They gonna come in. So I said, okay. Somebody came in, but I don't know who you looking for, but somebody came upstairs, and that was that on that.
But no, he was going to have to shoot me to one. And even then, if anybody, when they come to me, they don't like my answers. I'll be like, well, Makayla is grown. So if Makayla don't feel like talking right now, then okay, she will not talk to you.
Right.
She'll be all right.
It's very that.
She'll call you back when she's ready.
The least I can do is not talk to you about it, right? Which I should, though, and just try to come correct. She said
that's the least I can do.
Mm-hmm.
All right, girl. Well, we could talk about this all day, but go on, take us out, Cook.
Oh, right. It's time for music of the week.
Nope.
I literally forgot.
I saw you lose it. I saw you lose the thread.
I'm so sorry.
Right there.
Come on, hurry up. Come on.
Try it again.
It's time for music of the week. Music of the week. Hey. Music of the week. Music of the week.
Hey.
All right. So
I'm so proud of you.
I'm so sorry.
Go first. What's your music of the week?
I don't know.
Okay, I got it. I got
Why
one.
did you just freak out like that?
Because
You know it's coming every episode.
You put me on the spot.
No,
I'm
I
not
didn't.
First. I am never first.
I mean, except
Well,
you
that's
are
the
sometimes.
point. Go first.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna take first on this. Take first. I'm gonna give you a moment.
Please.
I'm gonna give you a moment.
Come on, bro. We gotta go.
Okay. All right. So first, Rock Demi Lovato was back, and it's very
Bless
good.
Demi Lovato.
Freak, her and Youngblood. It's fantastic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
A song with Youngblood?
I don't even know who that is.
You sure did. Yeah, no, the whole album is real nice.
Oh, what?
Okay, but you're going with rock, right?
The song is called Freak.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Freak. Okay.
Yeah, no, the genre.
The
rock.
genre rock.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
like
Okay. I
rock
did
era
something.
Demi is back.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Awesome.
and she's fucking singing her face off. So be aware.
Okay, all right.
As she does.
Yeah, as she do. Yes.
Demi.
You're not on the spot now. Come on.
Okay. It was a song by Hayley Williams that I was listening to from her Petals for Armor album,
Oh, yeah.
her solo album. Honestly, the whole album is fantastic.
Yeah.
But I cannot remember the name of. You don't have to come back to me. I cannot pull up the name in my head.
We'll put it on the list.
We'll put it on
Put
the
it on the
list.
playlist.
What's
do you
up?
have you have a song you've been listening
I
to?
do. It came up on my. Oh, yes, I do. It came up.
Yes, I do.
It came up on my new bop on Tidal. It's called American Daydream by Electric Guest.
Electric Guest.
That sounds like some real high music.
Yeah.
Well,
And the lyric real quick is, we keep going, don't stop running. They keep selling, we don't want it. So close to it, almost found a way.
okay, so I went a little ratchet this week. It's called Put That Pussy on Me 2.0. Okay, come on, hurry up. We gotta go. You don't remember the name of the song?
I'll just put a link it below.
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll just put it on the playlist.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for coming by. We can't wait to have you back again.
Yeah. Thank you, cuz.
This is fun.
Let's see. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Code Switching Pod. Stay black, stay beautiful, stay humble.
Bye.
Bye.